Today guys, Royce here, and as the title says, I am selling my snowmobile. There is absolutely no doubt that this year, I think I have found my comfort on this snowmobile. This is definitely the biggest year of progression that I've ever had on a snowmobile. I think that has one thing to do with the sled itself and having the ability to allow me to do certain things that I wanted to do. I think that has another reason to do with how many times I ended up riding. I rode quite a bit this year, and I think obviously the more times you do something, the better you're going to get at it. So I think this year was definitely a bigger year for me to progress, but I think that there's more progression still to be had. Now, you guys are probably like, Royce, why would you even sell this thing? It's still good to go. You just changed all the clutching. You got everything dialed in. Why would you sell it? The reason is there's just bigger and better things out there now. There is no doubt that the 2022 sleds that have been announced and are going to be released or are already released are really cool. They are some sweet sleds that the manufacturers have brought into the table, so I want to jump on to at least one of them for next season so we can first and foremost bring out new and fresh content for you guys, testing out a new product. And I believe that some of these new sleds are going to allow me to do a couple things that I can't necessarily do the easiest on this. I'm not going to say it's not doable because it 100% is. So let's go ahead and get into what the new sleds are and kind of compare them to the old chassis. Speaking old chassis, because this is technically still in effect. The Gen 4 Skidoo chassis is still in effect now. So the Axis chassis over here, this chassis is actually going away. Polaris is doing a brand new chassis. So we're going to be able to take a look at the differences between the Axis chassis and the new Polaris Matryx chassis. And we're also going to be able to do the same and take a look at the difference between the Gen 4 chassis, the Lynx chassis, and the new, I guess, semi-improved Gen 4 chassis that Skidoo's coming out with. Let's go ahead and start off with the Polaris. Polaris released the Pro RMK year 2011, and that was a awesome sled to have. I think this was definitely a little bit ahead of its time when the sled was released. I think Skidoo and all the other brands were just a hair behind on what this chassis could do. Once they brought the Axis chassis out, it kind of put this chassis to shame, and it was quite noticeable actually. That orange sled right there was my old sled, and a bunch of my buddies still had Axises at the time when I was still snowmobiling with that, and I think a part of it is to do with ability to ride the snowmobile. I think some of my buddies at the time were definitely a whole lot better than what I could do. However, I think the sled was definitely limiting as well. I think the Axis chassis definitely performed quite a bit better than what the Pro chassis could, and it was definitely able to get up on snow a little bit better and not trench out as much as the Pro chassis did. So the Axis chassis, it's a good chassis. However, you guys obviously know for me, didn't go with the Axis chassis. This is my dad's snowmobile here. He went with the Polaris Axis, and he loves it. It's a great sled, and I'm not saying it's a terrible sled at all. Matter of fact, they're awesome snowmobiles. I just liked the Skidoo chassis a little bit better. And here's some reasons why. One reason being this tunnel itself. This tunnel, when you're side hilling, it is like a suction cup. It drags snow. This literally acts as like a vacuum for snow. It drags and drags and drags, and it makes you trench out a little bit more, and quite frankly leads to getting stuck. As you guys can see with the Skidoo chassis, yes, it still has a little bit of these arches as this Axis does right here, but it starts evacuating the snow out very quickly, where this, it just kind of holds it in, and it just has this rigidity all the way past to where the track is, as you guys can see there. Now this has a tapered bumper where it's going up a little bit, and it's helping that snow evacuate, and especially because I cut the snow flap pretty much as short as possible, it definitely helps evacuate snow a lot better, helps create lift out of the snow, and you're not going to trench out as much as one of these Axises would, which I like. Now, the new Polaris Matryx, that's an awesome snowmobile. I'm going to put a picture right here. They're freaking awesome sleds. They have the cut tunnel, and the tunnel itself, not only is it cut, it acts more like a skidoo tunnel. You guys can see it's kind of tapered at the end. Obviously it's cut, so it's shorter than what the track length is. The whole chassis sits up a little bit taller. It looks to be like a little bit narrower. And obviously there is the boosted option as well, which I probably would opt out of. Me being a lighter guy, I don't really need a turbo. I'm not snowmobiling at 10,000 feet. I'm snowmobiling more around like 6,000 feet mostly. So a turbo isn't necessarily needed for a lot of the riding that I do. Don't get me wrong, cool turbo noises are always fun, but I believe that I would shy away from the turbo. First off, save me some money. Second off, I don't necessarily need it. With all of that said, it's an awesome chassis. I think it would do really well. Obviously, I'm not speaking from any experience. I haven't ridden the sled personally. However, I think the sled would definitely perform quite a bit better than what this Axis chassis would. Obviously, you're not going to be getting that drag. You're going to be getting a little bit of a better skid. The skid is going to be a little bit more playful on that new chassis. I think it even has a little bit of a slimmer front end. I think it's down to like a 36 or a 37 front end. I believe this one is a 37 front end. However, I think the new front ends even would help out quite a bit, just trying to get it on edge and whatnot. Now to the other two options that I'm considering here. So the first option would, of course, be the Summit Expert. If I was going to do the Expert package, I would actually probably opt for a turbo, just because it would be a complete change up from this sled to a new sled. Where if I was to just get the Expert package, I feel like this sled is essentially pretty close to what the Expert package is. I know the Expert package comes with the cut tunnel, it comes with the adjustable limiter strap, and for the front end, it is a 34-inch front end, which is definitely quite a bit shorter than what this is. This is a 36-inch front end, so narrowing it down even another 2 inches, I mean, you're probably going to be hitting your side panel before anything's gonna hit up in the front end when you're actually on a carve. From the reviews that I've seen and what riders have been saying, they are a huge fan of that 34-inch front end, so that is 100% an option. I don't feel like it's enough of a change from this sled, though, to make me actually want to pull the trigger on getting one. Arctic Cat, I don't really want an Arctic Cat, so that I'm going to leave that one out of the equation for now. So that leaves us with, well, one more sled that I am 100% leaning towards. It happens to be a very, very similar color to this one. Let's go ahead and throw a picture on the screen. 1, 2, 3. The Lynx, the 2022 Lynx Boondocker. That sled is absolutely awesome. It has pretty much everything that I would want to do on this sled from the factory, and it's ready to go. By no means am I a huge jumper. I'm not like sending the thing upside down super far in the air. I am starting to jump. I am starting to get the re-entries or whatnot down. I think there's some maneuvers that I was able to do on this sled that would be even easier to do on that Lynx. Now, the reason for that is, on the Lynx, the tunnel is cut at least another 3 inches than what this one is. I know it's a little bit shorter than what the Summit Expert tunnel is. I'm not sure exactly what the perfect dimensions are, but it does look and appear that it is a little bit shorter. So let's say the tunnel would be sitting right about here. That would mean that would be that much less drag when I'm in a wheelie, or if I'm trying to do some bow tie or hop over, or if I need to stand the sled straight up and down, it'll be that much easier because I'm dragging that much less. And not to mention, with the skid, as you guys can see here, we still have the T-motion. And we also have this spring system right here. There's no coil on this shock. It's all done by these springs here. It's a good system. I've actually locked out my T-motion, as you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see the lockouts or not, but I have locked out the T-motion. And this skid is good. It's a good skid. It does like to be playful. I have adjusted my limiter strap just a little bit to even get it to be a little bit more playful. However, I'm going to throw a picture up right now. As you guys can see on the Lynx skid, it is a completely different skid. I mean, this thing looks rigid. It looks like it's ready to ride. Not to mention that this skid is going to be really, really playful out in the snow. It's going to want to lift, it's going to want to play, and it's going to want to be squirrely and do fun things, which is what I am looking for out of a snowmobile. So if I was to take this sled, swap it out for the Lynx, I think that would be what I would do. Now you guys are probably wondering, Royce, it sounds like you're wanting the Lynx. I mean, that's what I'm definitely leaning towards, and you guys are right. I definitely want the Lynx. I want to sell this sled, and I want to get the Lynx for next year. Now, there is a couple different options that you can go for the Lynx. You can either get the 154 track, or you can go ahead and get the 165 track. The Skidoo that I'm on right now is a 165 3-inch track, and to be honest, I really like the 165. I had a 155 Polaris, as you guys can see here, and the amount of times that I got stuck on this sled and when I moved to this sled, it is unbelievable. The Skidoo gets stuck at least like a tenth of the time compared to what the Pro did. I know these are completely different chassis, so maybe that definitely has something to do with it. But having that extra track length has definitely allowed me to climb a lot steeper stuff, being a little bit more patient when I'm pulling lines or whatnot, and it's allowed me to get into new areas where I really didn't think was possible on a short track sled. Another reason that I'm leaning towards a longer track on the Lynx is the 154 track that comes on the Lynx is only a 2.5. So instead of getting that whole 3-inch lug, you're only getting a 2.5-inch lug, which I guess is less rotating mass, would probably get a little bit better track speed. However, I think that 165 3-inch will probably eat that 155 2.5-inch any day in some deeper snow and especially some steeper stuff. And especially it not being a turboed sled, I think definitely the 165 3-inch would be the way to go. And you're still going to get that playfulness that you're going to get out of the Lynx anyways. So my sled being pretty much 2 times as more playful is pretty much what the Lynx would be, and I think that that's what I'm leaning towards. So right now, drop it down in the comment section. What are you guys thinking? Should I get the Lynx? Is that the right sled for me? Should I get the 165 3-inch, or should I get the 154? The 154 is definitely going to be a little bit better with jumping and whatnot, but there's no doubt that you can't jump a 165. I've done it on this thing, and I think it'll be even easier with those wide skis that come on the Lynx. So drop it down in the comment section. What do you guys think is going to be the best sled for me? Obviously, I'm leaning towards the Lynx. If you guys are rooting for a Polaris, drop it down too. Definitely interested in reading what you guys would like to see for next year. To get this sled sold, I'm definitely going to need to do a lot of things. I'm definitely going to need to clean it. I'm going to need to get some new side panels, which actually, I have a couple brand new side panels waiting for the last day I ride. Which actually brings me into another point. The reason that I haven't put those side panels on is because I want to get one more ride in. I was actually supposed to go ride a Lynx this last weekend, but I had a couple buddies that bailed on me, and well, I just didn't know the terrain that I was going to go ride this Lynx in, and I called it. You know, you don't want to go by yourself. You don't want to go into somewhere where you don't know where you're going by yourself. That's just not a good idea, so I went ahead and called it. However, I do want to get at least one more ride in on this bad boy before I end up putting it out for sale. The snow is actually still pretty decent. It's more spring-like snow. We're expecting maybe another big dumping, kind of like a last finish off to winter. Maybe that's when we'll be able to get out and actually go ride one more time. But as far as snowmobile videos, I only have about probably 1 or 2 more for this year, and then we're into dirt content. Now, there is no doubt that I want to be active throughout this summertime. I think a lot of summertimes I've taken off of YouTube, and I've definitely focused a lot of my time in wintertime activities for YouTube content. However, I want to continue this into the summertime. I actually want to do a lot more filming. If I could film about 3 days a week and have 3 videos uploaded for you guys, maybe like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday ordeal, that would be really cool, and let me know if that's something you guys would like to be seeing. Now, for content, we have actually a pretty good amount of ideas. There's a bunch of abandoned stuff that is out in the woods wherever I live. There's abandoned towns, there's abandoned mine shafts, there's abandoned little outbuildings or houses. I mean, there's abandoned stuff everywhere, so maybe we could make that like an abandoned series. I think that would be kind of cool and interesting for you guys. Me and the girlfriend could go mob out on the RZR, go find these abandoned treasures, and go film our experience trying to find all this stuff. So that would be kind of a fun thing. We have the pit bike. I don't know if you guys remember. If you guys have been with my channel for a while, you guys probably remember the KLX 110. This thing has been through just about anything and everything. It's been pink at one point. It's been so many different colors, shapes, sizes. There's been so many different parts and whatnot on it. I actually have parts coming for this thing, so we have a couple videos lined out for the 110 that should be pretty interesting. We also have the jet ski that we could be going out onto the lake with. I think it would be kind of fun to tow the jet ski with the RZR or something like that. I don't know. There's a couple different options though that we could definitely do that would be fun, and I definitely want to bring some summertime content for you guys. So this video was a little bit slower than normal. Hope you guys stuck around to the end here. Leave a comment, leave some suggestions for video ideas. We're almost to the end of snowmobile season, and I'm not going to stop filming now, so leave some suggestions that you guys would like to see. I brought out a few ideas that you guys might be interested in. Let me know. And with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and end off the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. A Lynx 2022 is most likely in the future for next year. However, we got a couple more rides on this thing, and we got to get it sold somehow. So this has been Royce. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. We'll be back again soon for another upload. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.